Hello, myself Sunil Ramkrishnan Nair. Basically, we are going to talk about Formula Word today. What actually the Formula Word is basically. We have already discussed around 10 parts of this, and this is basically 11th part of the Formula Word. So basically, we are going to discuss a little bit about till now basically what we have discussed. We have discussed that what is actually formula, how basically PMP formula is getting used, and what is the base of that all each and every formula. For example, initialization part is there in SDLC, then the requirement part is there, then testing part is there, then the planning part is there, then the closing part is there. So basically like this, basically each and every SDLC parts are divided. Then basically in this part, each and every part basically from where basically, for example, initialization part. So in initialization, the project, how many formulas are getting used and what are the base of the these formulas, and the closing part. So basically when you are closing the project, which are formulas getting used and what is the base of this formula basically. So from where this formula basically this formula generated, basically you can say how basically this formula was created. Like this basically, if you are closing the project and after the project has started, and no, sorry, the maintenance phase started. In this maintenance basically, which projects are, which formulas are going to be used basically you can say. So basically each and every stage is there in SDLC. In each and every stage the formulas are defined. It's defined basically, it's practically used, and then only it has defined basically. Then basically I will take one example of this practical, basically what actually practical is. For example, there is one project which has came into picture basically. How basically projects came into picture, that basically we will discuss later on. Then also little bit I will tell you, that is basically one software energies are there basically, that are processed for many years basically. And after that basically that has processed that for example, how basically you can say this energy can be used in a software energy, and that software basically that converts to the software energy converts to the software and the projects basically. So basically there are set of energies which basically says that you can able to convert into software energy. So basically this is little bit about the software energy. Basically we are talking here about all basically practical use, basically how basically this is experimented. So basically there was one project basically came into picture, that was basically totally new project, that was basically never ever been created by any of the software companies basically you can say. And this was never basically heard also. So like this basically the project management group basically, though basically who basically have the control of each and every projects in this world basically. If any new project comes, then basically they only creates the entire environment basically of the projects. So basically the project came into picture. So basically they told that yeah, this is basically actually the new project. They actually, I don't know from where the information got, the it's a new project and this basically need some experiments basically. So basically they basically collected a few powerful resources basically that are basically into good into system management basically. They are basically very dangerous in system management. Any dam system basically they can handle very easily. Any dam system basically you can say. So basically like this basically they selected around 16 people for this project discussion, and the people basically who actually got this idea, they were also taken basically. So like this basically this entire team basically start discussing the project. So basically here basically they had taken one room basically in one bungalow or in one restaurant, in one hotel, or basically some in resort basically they have taken the room. And there basically the power company basically which was going to give power supply and going to take the power supply, that company also got the information that they are going to do discussion in this room basically. So like this basically power company was connected, energy company was connected, each and every companies were connected, and few companies were more connected because like this basically more than some number basically 17 to 18 countries departments were connected here. Like this basically the project discussion is ongoing. So basically there were 16 to 16 plus basically people basically they were starting discussion. At last basically up to end level discussion has happened in this room basically. Then basically the discussion which has happened, that ideas that the energies basically were also collected by the power companies and power energy departments, and they told that there are basically the project basically has converted into 15 types of ideas, so 16 or 15 types of ideas basically. So if you are doing this project basically, then basically there are 15 ways basically you can do this project basically. So like this basically the software energies and the power department basically told that there are 15 ways in this basically project can be designed. So basically there are 15 ideas basically you can say, on the base of you can design the this project basically. So like this basically this 15 to 16 ideas was basically collected by the power and energy department, and they done the lots of process, and basically each and every things was added and few things was removed. Like this basically plus minus has happened in this in that basically ideas, which basically which was going to convert to the energy basically, which was going to convert to ideas basically. Like this basically they have collected 16 ways of doing this project basically. Like this basically they have done all the experiments, each and everything, each and every nuclear plants. Also they have told that yeah, now it's clear basically you can send this data to the environment basically. So like this basically this project was going in basically assume in TCS basically. So in TCS basically, the basically for example in TCS basically there are 15 people going to work in this project basically. So basically in 15 people basically are going to work in this project. So basically TCS has got this project, and like this basically the power company got that this project is going to done by TCS. So just see is basically each and every mapping basically. Like this basically TCS told TCS got this project, and the power company told that power company was informed that TCS has got this project. So basically 16 ways ideas basically were going to circulate in this TCS company. And like this basically whenever they are going to discuss about this project, that 16 ways ideas are going to connect to each and every people. So basically for example there are four 7 to 8 blood groups people are working in this project basically. So according to the blood groups and the blood cells and the activities they do, according to that basically 16 ways basically connected to their brain basically. So assume that there are basically 15 people, and 5 to 6 basically ways basically connected to each and every people basically you can say. So basically, there were 5 to 6 ways basically, ideas basically, which connected to their brain, and they after that basically that entire after that 4 to 5 6 ways basically which was connected, and that basically connected to this project, and this ways were basically the project were basically designed basically. So 4 to 5 ways was connected to this project in TCS with the help of that power company, and the ways were basically already defined, the ideas were already defined by the set of groups basically, that you can't think up to this, you can't think more than this basically. That was the basically ways basically you can say. So like this basically the software company connected and they finished the project, and like this basically this is about the one of the basically you can say ways basically of the formulas, little bit about the formulas also basically. This also is used in the formula creation basically. This basically which example I have given, this is also used in the one of the formulas ways basically. Formulas in the formulas are in initialization, then planning is there, then designing is there, then closing is there, then testing project is there, then basically there are many ways basically, many SDLC parts basically. So basically, like this, basically the each and every SDLC basically is defined. SDLC is also defined long before only. Basically, you can say initialization is there, planning is there, designing is there, designing, planning, and the testing and the closing. Like this, basically entire initial SDLC part is also same way designed only. So like this, basically this project which was just now discussed, that was basically one of the ways which was connected by the power companies and the energy companies which they have sent to the TCS people. and like this basically they have finished the project. So basically this is also one of the part of the formula, basically you can say. So basically this is 11th part basically, and in 12th part we are going to little bit detail, we are going to discuss little bit detail of the formula keyword.